Hey guys, do you know what kind of video we're gonna be filming today? We got quite the load of boxes. You know what we're filming. I mean, of course, you saw the title. That's how YouTube works. This is all the makeup I've accumulated within the past several months. We got stuff from ColourPop, Glossier, Sephora, Ulta. I feel like most of this stuff is from Ulta just because they have drugstore and high-end makeup, so that's just kind of been my shopping destination lately. So normally, this is a really good angle. So normally I feel like I always do ColourPop last because it's the biggest box and it's at the bottom. I feel like I always have ColourPop in my makeup hauls, but I thought we should start with ColourPop today. Let's change things around, and I feel like most of you are like super hyped to see the ColourPop products. And the reason I bought so much ColourPop makeup is because I want to do like a best of ColourPop video, so we've got a lot. And I already own like a crap load of ColourPop products. So let the unveiling begin. So first things first, I bought 15 Super Shock shadows. I've never tried them before, and I don't know if you guys know this about me. I've mentioned it maybe like once or twice on my channel, but I'm not a fan of collecting single shadows. They just give me anxiety, like that they don't have a home, like in a palette. I like to pick up one thing and have all of my colors there for the day, but there's something about Super Shock shadows that look so beautiful and intriguing to me. Like, they look ridiculous. And when a single shadow is ridiculous, sure, I'll justify it. Like the Stila Magnificent eyeshadows, I have so many of those. That's actually part of my haul. I needed more. So all of this is still in its packaging, so I think I'm gonna take several minutes just to unpackage all of this to save some time. And I only have an hour and a half to film before I have to go to work. I'm a little nervous. I won't have enough time to get through all of this makeup, but I'm gonna do the best I can. And if I don't get to it, you'll see it in another haul video because I do those every several months. All right, so now that I have a beautiful pile of clutter next to me on my left, I will go into the swatches. So it was this one shade that drew me in, that really enticed me and just like made me want to try the Super Shock formula. So this one is in the shade Frog, and this, oh my gosh, like, does that not look just wet and glittery? It almost looks kind of clear, but it has that pinky shine to it. I feel like this would be perfect for like that model-esque wet look, natural, glossy, dewy kind of tutorial. Beautiful. And I actually got quite a few like blue-green shades because I just love those colors. So this one is in the shade Sugar. Such a beautiful like sky blue color. That's stunning. This one is in the shade Telepathy, and I think Kathleen Lice created this shade, but I think this is such a sick like yellow dirty green color. Oh my gosh, yes. I literally have to use these like every single day. I feel like these are just the perfect makeup product that is so like on the go but makes you look really put together and that like you know what you're doing because it's so incredible and eye-catching. So this next one is in the shade Get Lucky, and I also bought this because of Kathleen Lights. This is like a dirty gold shade, which I feel like will go just beautifully with so many neutral colors, just amp up that everyday look. Ugh, love it. You guys know I love my gold bronzy looks, so it's perfect. Then we have the shade I Heart This. Oh, freaking shoot. It's broken. It's gonna fall out of the pan if I tip it over anymore. Maybe I can just like squash it in there. Yeah, it'll be fine. So this looks like a really beautiful, like cool toned taupey silver color. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. I'm gonna try and use as many adjectives as I can during these makeup hauls. I feel like I get very repetitive. Is what it is. Then we have the shade Bumblebee, and this is a part of their spring butterfly collection, and I bought this shade because of my friend Kendra Cuss here on YouTube, and she did a tutorial using this color. It's called like the orange cream dream tutorial, and she used this all over her lid and I died. That is such a unique yellowy mustard but bright orange. freaking love it. And then we have the shade Prickly Pear. So this looks like a really stunning muted gray, cool toned purple with little flecks of gold in there. Unbelievable. And then I got the shade Hammered. So this is a super deep, rich, olivey green. Oh my gosh. And you guys know, like, whenever I get a new eyeshadow palette to review and there's a green in there, that's like the first shade that I go to. So yes. And this next one is in the shade Special Delivery, and it's such a beautiful green, like aqua blue shade. Then I picked up the shade Cusp. Like, are you joking me right now? Gotta love those greens, man. Gotta love those greens. And then this shade called Moonwalk literally looks like dragon scales. Like, when I think of dragons, this is the color I think of, because it's green, but it also has that brown duochrome flip to it. Stop. And then we'll swatch one more blue for you guys. So this one is in the shade Lit Year, which looks like a really beautiful blackened deep teal, and almost the tiniest bit of a purple flip to it. That is lit. Sounds really awkward coming out of my mouth. I never say lit. This next one is in the shade Sidekick. Like, that just looks like straight up fire with gold yellow flecks in there. That's really bad. This is my left arm. I'm way stronger on my right. And then the last two, this one is called Nillionaire with an N, not millionaire. And this is like a dark bronze taupe, like cool toned, I don't know, but it has a lot of different colors of sparkle in there. I see pink, gold, purple. And then this last one, I'm not sure how you pronounce this. It's called So Quiche. So quiche. I don't know. Please don't come after me, okay? So this one actually reminds me a lot of Nillionaire, but it's more dirty looking. A dirty dark green brown with also sparkles of pink, purple, and gold in there. I feel like ColourPop just hits it out of the park with these Super Shock shadow colors. They're so unique and different to what I've seen on the market, and obviously I haven't tried them yet. I've heard a lot of amazing things about these products, and already after swatching these, I want to buy 15 more. And then ColourPop launched a bunch of new ultra glossy lips, and I'm a little confused because they say that it's a new formula, but to me it just looks like new colors, and they added like pearlescent finishes, prismatic looking glosses. So to me it just looked like they added new finishes, not so much a new formula, but they claim that it was a new formula, so I thought I might as well just try two of them out since I'm going to be doing that ColourPop video. So I bought the shades Few, which is this yellow gold shade, just super sparkly looking, and they also added like brush applicators, which I'm like, finally, because I hate the ColourPop wands for the glosses, because I literally have to dunk in like 10 times to get the normal amount of product that I want on my lips. And then I also got the shade PS, which looks like a beautiful sparkly peach color. And even if these aren't a new formula, I love glosses, so I won't be mad if they're a new formula, because I honestly love their ultra glossy lips. And then I bought two of their lippy pencils. ColourPop has, I think, my favorite drugstore lip liners. They're so creamy and pigmented. I'm never gonna get build up on my lips. I know some drugstore lip liners will layer really oddly and they get thick, or they will bleed after a certain amount of time. I never have any issues with these. So I got two nude shades. This one is in the shade BFF, which I think is like their best selling lip liner. And then I also bought the shade Brink, which is a little bit more rosy in tone. Then I picked up their Brow Boss Gel, and I've heard that this is a dupe for the Glossier Boy Brow. So I really wanted to give that a try because I love feathery brows. And then I bought another no filter concealer. I already own one of these. It just doesn't do a lot for me in the brightening department because these oxidize like crazy. So I got a lighter shade. I got mine in light 14, but I'm obsessed with this concealer. Hands down, one of the best drugstore concealers. Full coverage, blends like that, super creamy. It's just so beautiful and airbrush looking. And then I decided to pick up their small fluff brush. So this is their 5 brush. Everyone raves about this as being such an amazing highlighting brush. The last 2 products from ColourPop are 2 eyeshadow palettes. So I bought their I Think I Love You palette, and I know this is a neutral palette, but I just love it. I feel like this looks like such a dramatized, smoky version of an everyday neutral palette, and the metallics look incredible and so eye-catching, and you just can't go wrong with ColourPop shadows, so why not? And then I bought the Element of Surprise palette, and I love this. I feel like it looks so fun and inspiring. I know this isn't most people's favorite ColourPop eyeshadow palette, but ever since they've released this, I've had my eye on it, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I think the packaging is beautiful, and you have a lot of everyday tones in here, but you have some duochromes, purple, this bright berry pink, and burgundy colors. I don't know, there's something about this palette that I really like. So moving on from ColourPop, I have a few products from Glossier. I actually use Kendra's rep link for 20% off, and you get free shipping if you buy 2 items using her link. Also, Glossier is not expensive for a high-end brand, so I love that. I decided to pick up their Wowder, and I have a feeling this is going to be holy grail for me. Everyone says that this just never picks up on texture or dryness and just almost looks hydrating and just like really healthy on the skin, so I'm all about that. I'm so excited to try this. And then I bought 3 different flavors of their balm.coms. So I struggle with having really dry lips. I am always wearing chapstick or a gloss, but I felt like I could never get enough hydration, and if I ever picked up a liquid lipstick that was too drying, my lips would burn for days on end, and I'm like, I can't do this. Like the regular chapsticks that you can just pick up from Target, CVS, whatever it may be, were just not hydrating enough for me, and I asked Kendra about these because I've heard a bit about these being really amazing, and she's like, these are my go-to. I have several around the house. So I picked up their mint one, their birthday balm, which is supposed to have a little bit of shimmer to it, and then their coconut balm, which I've been using for about a week and a half now, and I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh, I use this every single day, and truly my lips have not felt better or healthier. They're not flaking at all. I crave this now whenever it's not on my lips. It doesn't feel waxy or wish-washy at all. These have totally healed my lips, and they're hands down the best balms I've ever tried so far. Next box, shall we? Got a bunch of miscellaneous products in here. So first up, I finally decided to pick up the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Don't really need to say much about this. It's like everyone's favorite. I'm loving it so far. Haven't used it like a crap load, but every time I pick it up, amazing. Amazing. And then I also finally decided to pick up the Sleek Solstice highlighting palette. I bought quite a few highlighters in this haul, you will see, just because that's the next product I'm going to be talking about in my best of the drugstore category, moving on to highlighters. So I've been accumulating quite a bit lately. So I'm excited to give this a try. I'm hoping it's amazing because honestly, I'm only going to use these 2 shades. Well, as far as the blinding factor goes, got it. It definitely has more of a dry formula to it, but I don't mind that as long as it looks airbrush and beautiful on the skin. And then I also bought the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. I don't want to say a lot about this because it is going to be in that video. Best of the drugstore highlighters. Wow, these are incredible. And then I decided to pick up 5 of the Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. These have got to be one of my all-time favorite makeup products literally in the world. I know people claim that the new ColourPop Supernova shadows are dupes for these, but I don't buy it. A, because they're not as glittery as these. B, if you've seen Nicole Concilio's review on those products, they don't blend. Basically, like the second you put them on, that's where they're gonna stay, and there's really no maneuvering or adjusting with those shadows. But with these, I can, you know, put on my eyeshadow, apply it, and then I can take the eyeshadow again and blend the outer edges so it all looks seamless. With those, they just cracked and fell and just fell apart, basically. Every single time I see someone using those, I'm like, oh, your lid looks like really, really texturized, and I'm just not about that. These are amazing. Literally, I just feel like you can't do better than these, and they're so expensive, I know, but they're worth it. And it's like, when are you gonna run through one of these? So this one is in the shade Rose Gold Retro. These are so convenient, beginner friendly. Literally just wipe this on and people will think you are a full-blown makeup artist because of how insane these look. This is the shade Gold Goddess, yes. And then this is their most popular shade, Kitten Karma. I gave this to my sister for her birthday and she loves it. I knew she would. And then I picked up the shade Diamond Dust. These are definitely like their OG shades, but I feel like those are just the best ones to grab because I don't think I'm gonna get any of like the purple or blue or crazy colored ones, because then it's a little bit harder for me to justify the price because I know I won't use them as often as these just like go-to basic metallics. And this bottom one is in the shade Smoky Storm. But literally whenever I have a glam kind of day or I have a fancy date or a fancy special event, this is what I reach for every single time. Like if I was going to prom, I would do a look with one of these. And then moving on to the last miscellaneous box, we might actually get through everything today. Here we go. So I actually have a lot of drugstore foundations to share with you guys because that is the next category I will be moving on to after highlighters. So this is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable Longwear Foundation. I have mine in the shade Classic Ivory, and this has like a tart shaped tape type of applicator. And I will say it's a little bit annoying just because you have to dip in so many times to get the amount that you want to use, but I'm really impressed with this. I've only used it a couple of times, but it's a very natural looking foundation. It's lightweight, light coverage. You're not going to get any more than that, but it looks so natural on the face and it has a glow to it, but it's not over the top glowy, and it definitely does not last 25 hours, but it lasts a pretty good amount of time considering it's a drugstore glowy light coverage foundation. I'm really impressed with it. And then I picked up the new Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation that everyone's been raving about. I'm already going to tell you, this is one of my all-time favorite foundations already. Holy crap, this is amazing. One of my go-to foundations is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and this gives me very similar vibes to that, but it's more full coverage. I've only used it a couple of times, so I'd need to use it more in order to compare it better with the Matte and Poreless foundation. But wow, this looks incredible on my skin. Like so smoothed and flawless, like amazing. My skin truly looks perfect and it looks so good for such a long time. Wow. And then I've got this little bitty baby NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. It's funny because on the packaging for this, it's like, oh, this matte drops light coverage, this matte drops medium coverage. And I think it was like 4 drops or something like that for full coverage. You're gonna need quite a bit to get this to full coverage. Honestly, I don't think this gets to full coverage. I'd say medium, but I like it. It's good. It has a satin matte finish to it. Lasts decently well. It's not bad. Again, I've only used it a couple of times, but I haven't had any issues with it any time that I've applied it. And then this is the foundation that I'm wearing on my face today, so if you like, this is what it is. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD. I was gonna say high definition, but that's what HD means. Longwear Illuminating Foundation. And this is in the shade Fair, which is their lightest shade. And this is a bit dark for me even, so they definitely need to introduce more shades to this line. This is only my second time applying it, but so far I really like it. I think my skin looks very airbrushed and healthy. I know a lot of people say that this is like over the top glowy and like wet looking on the skin. I don't think it's that glowy, but it definitely has glow to it, and I'm amazed by how full coverage this is. I really don't see drugstore glowy foundations that are full coverage like ever. I honestly can't think of one. So far, I really, really like this. And then I also picked up their new Pro Matte Foundation. As you can see, this is still in the packaging, so I haven't tried it yet. And then I think this is the last foundation, sorry. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This is in the shade Natural Buff. This looks so good on my skin, but I will say it is matte. Even though I have dry skin, it doesn't look cakey or drying or texturize anything. It looks really, really good on my face, but It does feel a little bit tightening, not uncomfortable, but you will feel it just a little bit. So I'd recommend going in with a super hydrating base if you don't want to feel that, but it lasts really well. I've been really impressed with this because I was almost expecting for it not to work just because I have dry skin, but it's great. So let's move on to some lipsticks. I have some of the Rimmel Kate Nude Collection lipsticks. I know I use the shade 40 in my summer goddess makeup tutorial, so I'm not going to show you guys that one because I like to show you guys makeup that you haven't seen yet in these makeup hauls. So I also picked up the shade 42 in their collection, and if you guys have not checked out these lipsticks yet, I feel like these are some of the best at the drugstore. This is 44. They have such an amazing selection of nudes, and they're just so easy to throw on and just look amazing just like that. They're go-to formulas. They're really comfortable, and they're not going to last a ridiculous amount of time because, I mean, they're satin lipsticks, but these are so easy just to throw on your purse and throw on. Like, they're nudes. They're easy. And then I bought a bunch of the NYX Liquid Suede Cream lipsticks at Marshall's. I always have things from Marshall's in these hauls. I'm obsessed with Marshall's. But they had 3 packs for, I believe, like $7. How good of a deal is that? So this rose color is in the shade Initiator. I love this formula, by the way. These are very reminiscent of the ColourPop Ultra Satin lips, and these last so long, like all day on the lips. They will transfer, but they're so comfortable, and if you ever need to touch them up, I feel like just by rubbing your lips together, you're for the most part good. You'll probably need to retouch once, but they're great. I freaking love them. This one is in the shade Kitten Heels, which, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this color, that vibrant, bright red. Yes. Then we have the shade Brooklyn Thorn, and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this color. Like, these are the kind of purples I like to wear. Grungy gray purples. Then we have the shade Cherry Skies, which is a deep, beautiful wine color. This one is called Club Hopper, mainly brown with a hint of purple. And this one is in the shade Vintage, which is your vampy, kind of dusty purple with a hint of brown. And I totally forgot to include this earlier. This is another ColourPop product, but I placed this through a different order from that giant box. So this is the I Love Sadai ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip. So this is in the shade Curvy, and I just love pinky nude glosses. You guys know that. And then this might have been, it is the bougiest purchase in this haul, and I feel so good about it. So Pat McGrath had a sale. I think it was like 20% off on her website, and I have been dying to try her matte trance lipsticks, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to buy those because those are just too expensive. Like, yes, I know I spend a crap load of money on makeup, but I can't justify spending like $30-something on one lipstick. That's just too much. But when I saw the sale, I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Treat yourself. So I bought 4, but only 3 came in the mail, and I've emailed their customer service 3 times by now. The first time being like, hey, I'm missing a lipstick from my order. Then they said, we will send you, that lipstick. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. 2.5 weeks passed by, still nothing at my doorstep. Emailed them again. They ignored me, emailed them again, and they're like, oh, we've been sold out. They're restocking in July. I'm like, okay, great luxury service. Thank you for letting me buy an item that's going to arrive 2 months later. But anyway, these have the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen in a lipstick, ever. Like, every single shade that you get is individually designed and has their own unique packaging. I'm gonna keep the packaging. I never keep packaging, but these, I'm keeping it because you open it up like this. How fancy is this? You open her up, and this is the lipstick you get inside. I have not tried these yet. I'm going to use the crap out of these if I like them, but I don't know. I've just been like waiting for that 4th lipstick to come in because I don't know why. I just thought like, oh, I need to wait for the 4th one to come in, but I'll go ahead and swatch these for you guys. So this one is in the shade Oh Me. Oh my gosh, these are so creamy and pigmented. And I got all nudes because it's like, if I'm gonna spend the money on a luxury item, like, I'm gonna use it. I can't believe like people who spend money on luxury items and they're like, I'm just gonna look at it, or like, oh, I'm scared to use it because it was expensive. And I'm like, this one is in the shade Peep Show, which is such a darling, beautiful, light pinky nude. And then this one is in the shade 1995. And the shade that I purchased but has not arrived yet is called Venus and Furs. So it's supposed to be also a nude, but more of a almost cool toned brownie nude. And then I found this little gem at Marshall's. This is the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouge lipstick, and this is in the shade Cremini. This is a very unique brown color. It looks a little bit strange, but it also looks really cool. Like if I paired it with this makeup look, it would totally work, but you kind of have to be a little bit careful with the eye makeup whenever you use this, because it is, you know, like a warm, kind of yellowy, kind of dirty brown, but it's really cool. And I actually got a lot of compliments when I wore this. I love the Bite lipstick formula, one of the best. Let's ring it on back to some more highlighters. Sorry if you're bored of them already. So this is the Pixi Aspen Ovard Glowy Powder, and this is in the shade Santorini Sunset. I've used this once. I liked it, but I wasn't through the moon obsessed with it. I'll continue to use it because I don't think first impressions are a totally, completely accurate representation of a product's formula and how it works. But just on first impressions, I was like, oh, it's nice. Like it was like a nice glow. But for me, I like to glow. And with the first time that I tried it, I just found that I couldn't really build it up to be that blinding, but it looks nice as an everyday highlighter. And I kind of had the same experience with this as well. This is also by Pixi. It's their Glowy Glossomer Duo. This is in the shade Subtle Sunrise, and these are a little bit more metallic looking than that circular one. Again, this is only my first impression, but I found that these didn't blend seamlessly. Like they looked nice, but they kind of just looked like, you know, makeup. I know people really love these. Again, I'm going to continue to try them out. Maybe my thoughts will change, but just on first impressions, that's how I felt about these. And this is the highlighter that I'm actually wearing today. I tried it on for the first time and I'm loving it so far. This is the JCat Beauty You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter, and I have mine in the shade Moonlight. And I feel like this is very versatile because the first few strokes are going to look very natural. So if you don't like a super metallic blinding highlighter, amazing. But if you like a blinding, glowing highlighter, it's very buildable. It doesn't look powdery. It blends beautifully. It didn't get chunky on my skin. I feel like it just melted into my makeup. And then the last highlighter I have to show you is the Beige Cosmetics Spotlight Highlight Palette. I'm obsessed with this. These have such a creamy formula to them. They're so finely milled, do not look powdery whatsoever on the face. They literally look so glossy and wet and blinding. Blinding. And then I have a couple of products from Marc Jacobs. So this actually came for free in my order when I purchased those new lip gloss sticks. And this is their Highliner Gel Eye Crayon. And I would never buy this with my own money because it's just too expensive for what it is, an eyeliner, but I'm really happy I got it for free because people rave about these. Like when I think of high-end eyeliners that people non-stop talk about, I think of these and the Urban Decay 24-hour eyeliners. So this shade is called In the Buff, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited to try this because I feel like this is just a beautiful everyday eyeliner shade to just pop in the waterline. I also bought their Air Blush in the shade Lines in Last Night. You guys know how much I love my peachy corally blushes, and this is such a stunning blush. You can really manipulate how you want the color to come out. So you can veer more towards this side and you're gonna get a lighter peachy color, or you can get more of a vibrant corally color on this side. What I like to do is go in the middle, and this has the slightest bit of a sheen to it. It looks so healthy and beautiful on the cheeks. The perfect pigmentation, blends really easily. I love this. This is their new Fantasine palette. This is part of their coconut collection. This is limited edition, and I'm like, I I need to have it. I love that it's white with this rose gold detail, and although this is a very neutral everyday kind of palette, it's not like your brown neutral everyday palette. I don't have a lot of palettes with these rosy tones in here, and this is so girly and romantic looking. Marc Jacobs has one of the best eyeshadow formulas out there. I'm wowed every single time I use it. I also bought the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. Everyone has been raving about. Used it for the first time today. I freaking love it. This is full coverage, looks airbrushed, perfect on the skin, blends in seconds. I know people are saying this is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, but already based on how it applied today, I like it more because it's not intimidating to me. I feel like you need to be very strategic with the Shape Tape. You can't go overboard with that or it will truly look like too much, or you have nowhere to blend it into because it's just like all over your face if you put on too much. And this just wasn't scary to me. Blended and applied beautifully. I will definitely continue to use this. And then sadly, I'm gonna have to return this. I was a bit disappointed with this. This is the Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Powder Blush. I bought mine in the shade Satisfy, which is, you know, a peachy color. It shouldn't have taken that long to apply. It's a high-end blush. I expect a lot, especially because drugstore blushes, I feel like that's the department where the drugstore kills it in. Blushes, they've got it down. And I felt like I had to dip into this 10 times to get the color payoff that I wanted. And then lastly, I bought 2 eyeshadow palettes from BH Cosmetics. This is their Marble Collection Warm Stone eyeshadow palette. The packaging looks really nice for BH Cosmetics. I feel like this is a beautiful array of warm and cool tones. Don't know if it's any good, but I've heard a few people talk about this and say it was really nice. And then I also got the Shaaanxo Remix palette, which I'm so happy I waited to purchase this until her remix version came out, just because in the beginning when this first launched, she had this side and then the other opposing side had lipsticks in here, like in pan form, which is so inconvenient to me, and I just hate those kind of formulas. So I'm so happy to hear that it's a full-on eyeshadow palette now, and I feel like this is just an OG hyped up BH Cosmetics item I had to have. So those are all the makeup products I have to share with you guys today. I actually made it perfectly in time with 3 minutes to spare. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a long one, but I appreciate it, especially if you stuck to the end. Bravo. So if you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you might want to see me in any more videos, I would appreciate it so, so much. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!